Welcome to Backbone Unlimited. My name is Matt Hartsky. If you're not familiar with who I am, I've been hunting and guiding Western big game for over 34 years, and I've been a professional strength conditioning and nutrition coach for more than 30 years. And I'm here to help you become a more successful and consistent hunter and bear hunter and outdoorsman. In this episode, we're breaking down the most common spring bear hunting mistakes that cost hunters bears, even when bears are absolutely present in the area. Spring bear season frustrates more hunters than almost any other hunt. Guys scout hard, they glass endlessly, they hike big country, and still they come home saying the same things. I just didn't see any bears. Meanwhile, other hunters in the same unit are seeing multiple bears or killing one outright. That gap isn't luck, it's just mistakes. Quiet ones, but logical ones. Mistakes that feel reasonable in the moment, but slowly stack the odds against you until bears feel invisible. Spring bears aren't unpredictable. They aren't mythical. They aren't only moving at night. They are doing exactly what bears are supposed to do in spring: conserve energy, feed efficiently, avoid pressure, and use terrain, wind, and timing to their advantage. A lot of hunters lose bears because they hunt spring bears the same way they hunt fall animals, or worse, the way they hunt deer and elk. They focus on effort instead of alignment. They chase activity instead of understanding patterns. And when things don't happen quickly, they assume bears must not be there. This episode is about correcting that thinking. We're going to walk through the biggest mistakes hunters make during spring bear season, mistakes that quietly kill opportunities long before a bear ever shows itself. More importantly, we'll talk about how to fix them so bears stop feeling rare. Let's break it down. One of the most common mistakes in spring bear hunting is trying to hunt too much country. Spring bears don't use the landscape evenly. They compress into very specific zones based on food availability, snow conditions, warmth, and energy efficiency. When hunters treat an entire unit as bear country, they dilute their focus and miss the places bears actually spend time. A lot of hunters glass a slope, don't see a bear within 10 minutes, and move on. Then they repeat that process all day across dozens of slopes. At the end of the day, they've covered a lot of ground, but they haven't actually hunted bears where bears are. Spring bears reward depth, not breadth. If food is good, bears will use the same zones repeatedly. They feed, bed nearby, digest, and return. That loop may only cover a few hundred yards, but it happens day after day. Hunters who bounce from spot to spot rarely stay long enough to catch that loop. Another issue is elevation and aspect selection. Many hunters start too high too early because that's where animals should be. In spring, bears are tied to early green up, which usually means lower elevations and sun exposed slopes. Hunting beautiful but dead country wastes critical time. Successful bear hunters narrow down to a small percentage of the landscape and commit to it. They reglass the same slopes at different angles of the day. They watch how light, temperature, and wind affect movement. They let bears reveal themselves. The mistake isn't lack of effort, it's lack of patience in the right places. When you hunt too much country, you're always late. When you hunt the right country long enough, bears eventually show themselves. Spring bear hunting is a glassing game, but a lot of hunters don't glass long enough. Bears don't move constantly. They don't feed like deer. They don't travel in herds. A bear may be bedded for hours, then stand, feed briefly, move 50 yards, and bed again. That entire window of visibility might last 5 minutes. Hunters who miss bears often weren't in the wrong place. They just weren't there long enough. Another mistake is treating glassing like scanning instead of observation. Hunters sweep a slope quickly, see nothing obvious, and move on. Bears blend into terrain. They often don't move much. You don't spot bears, you discover them by watching edges, openings, and for subtle movement. Time of day matters too. Many hunters glass hard at first light, then give up when they don't see anything. Cold mornings often keep bears bedded. As temperatures warm, digestion improves and bears are more willing to expose themselves. Midday is often a prime window that hunters waste hiking or relocating in the spring. Successful bear hunters sit longer than feels productive. They reglass the same terrain multiple times. They assume bears are present until proven otherwise by time, not impatience. Leaving your glass too soon doesn't feel like a mistake at the time. It feels efficient, but it's one of the fastest ways to miss bears that were already there. Another mistake that costs hunters bears is underestimating how quickly wind and pressure change bear behavior. Bears rely heavily on their sense of smell. They don't need to see you to know you're there. A brief thermal pull or wind shift is enough for a bear to confirm danger and adjust behavior without ever exposing itself. Many hunters unknowingly contaminate feeding areas early in the day. They hike through travel corridors, they skyline themselves on ridges, they sit above feeding slopes where downhill thermals dump scent into the basin. From the hunter's perspective, nothing happens. The slope stays empty, but the bear already knows. Without bait anchoring bears to a single spot, pressure changes behavior fast. Bears may shift movement to later in the day, move tighter to cover, or simply approach areas from different angles. They don't always leave, they adapt. Another common mistake is hunting too close to access. Bears near roads and trails learn human patterns quickly. They may move midday instead of morning or use side hills and cover instead of open slopes. Hunters who don't adjust assume bears are gone. Good wind management isn't about perfection, it's about controlling where information goes. Successful bear hunters choose positions where scent blows into dead ground, avoid moving through likely bear routes, and pay attention to thermal shifts throughout the day. Pressure doesn't announce itself loudly in spring, it quietly removes you from the equation. A major reason bear hunters struggle with spring bears is misplaced expectations. Many hunters subconsciously expect bears to behave like deer or elk. They expect consistent morning and evening movement. They expect animals to feed in the open for long periods. They expect obvious patterns. Bears don't play by any of those rules. Spring bears operate on efficiency. They feed when conditions favor digestion and comfort. They bed when energy conservation matters more than feeding. They move when wind, temperature, and security all align. That means bears may move midday. They may feed briefly. They may appear once and never show again that day. Hunters who don't understand this label bears as nocturnal or pressured. Another mistake is expecting immediate feedback. But without something like bait, you don't make things happen with bears. You wait for their behavior to reveal itself. Hunters who succeed accept uncertainty. They commit to good setups and trust the process. Hunters who fail constantly change plans, chase fresh sign, and abandon areas too quickly. Spring bear hunting isn't about forcing encounters. It's about understanding behavior and positioning yourself where encounters eventually and are likely to happen. When you stop expecting bears to act like other animals, your frustration is going to drop and your success is going to climb. Effort feels productive. Sitting still feels passive. And that bias costs hunters a lot of spring bears. Many hunters equate movement with progress. If they aren't hiking, they feel like they're wasting time. But spring bears don't reward movement, they reward stillness in the right places. Bears reveal themselves when conditions are stable and pressure is low. Constant movement introduces noise, scent, disturbance that keeps bears bed or hidden. Another issue is mental distraction. Glassing requires focus. Checking phones, repositioning constantly, or glassing lazily causes hunters to miss subtle movement. Bears don't announce themselves, they appear quietly. Successful bear hunters often hike less than unsuccessful ones. They hike to strong vantage points, then commit. They accept boredom. They let time do the work. This doesn't mean never moving, it means moving intentionally, not compulsively. Relocate when conditions change, not when your impatience sets in. A lot of hunters don't fail because they aren't working hard enough. They fail because they're working hard in ways that don't align with actual black bear behavior. Spring bear hunting mistakes aren't dramatic. They don't blow up hunts instantly, right? They quietly stack against you until bears feel invisible. Hunting too much country, leaving glass too soon, mismanaging wind, applying the wrong expectations, moving constantly instead of sitting when it matters. Each of those mistakes feels reasonable in isolation, but together they add up to cost you bears. Spring bears are predictable when you understand how they live. They compress into food driven zones, they move on their own schedule, they respond quickly to pressure, and they reward patience, positioning, and awareness. When you fix these mistakes, bears stop feeling rare and they start showing up where and when they should. Now, if you're serious about taking this kind of knowledge deeper, that's exactly why I built Team Backbone. It's more than just a membership, it's a way to sharpen your edge with exclusive tools, strategies, and a tribe of relentless hunters. Inside, you're going to get 20% off site wide on all Backbone Unlimited gear, the option to have a t shirt shipped to your door every month, full access to the digital content vault of guides, checklists, and backcountry strategies, a private Facebook group with direct access to me, and a community of driven hunters. Direct call, text, or email access to me for personalized advice on training, hunting strategy, or just sharpening your edge, and automatic entry into monthly gear giveaways. This is built for the guys who train for the hunt, push themselves in the off season, and want to be part of a tribe that makes them better. If you're ready for that kind of inner circle, then Team Backbone is waiting for you at backboneunlimited.com underneath our membership tab. Thanks for being here. I appreciate each of you. Until next time, train harder, hunt smarter, and never settle.